I've got a bunch of things going on here today. Thing one with the 5020 is the dozer blade is now on. It's a 9-foot dozer blade. I put the sides on for pushing dirt. They seem to work pretty good. Gonna replace hydraulic hoses. Got Timothy doing that. I do have an oil leak here. It's kind of pissing me off, but I think I got it squared away. No, I don't. I just saw it drip right there. The gasket's leaking. So these things don't run a lot. Those gaskets get hard and they leak. So I'm just going to replace the filter and the gasket. I got brand new ones. I greased the front end here so that it's, lubricated for whatever it is we're going to do. I'm just going to park this tractor in the back there so that when it snows, I'll be able to, just pull right on out and start pushing snow. This thing works well for pushing snow and dirt and everything else. And I got some other things I got to do to it. I'm actually going to weld a new piece of steel onto that shear because that shear is down to the point where it needs to be replaced, and I don't have one. They're very expensive, and as much as I use this thing, I'm just going to weld a piece of steel to it and call it a day, because if I continue to use it the way it is, it'll be down to the frog and it'll wear through and I'll have a useless blade, and it is a deer blade. So the other thing is, I'm about to step out into the cold, windy weather. Over the course of the summer, we had stacked hay into the buildings, the outbuildings, and I just had enough room to get the baler and everything else inside. Like if I needed to bring a mower in here, I had enough room to bring a mower in here. There was plenty of room. It's my grandfather's tractor we've been working on. So I had room to put stuff in. The old Case windrower, that stayed outside. We didn't have any rain this summer anyway, so it really didn't get wet until a couple days ago. But anyways, I'm moving hay out of the buildings and putting them on pallet, and we're going to tarp it. The problem with tarping it is the wind is blowing like massive amounts of wind today. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. The other thing is we are cleaning up the Krone baler. Krone baler is going back to Messick's. That will happen hopefully in a couple of weeks or a week or so. I got to get a hold of them boys and tell them that I'm ready to go with it. I do have to get a parts list together for them. But the other thing is I got Cody cleaning out the one building where I'm going to actually back this machine in. And actually what I'm going to back in is the windrower. Both windrowers are going to be put in. Let me get my hand over that thing. Both windrowers, I got to get the 4450 that's behind me. The 4960 is going to get disconnected from the stack wagon and put in. So is the 4430. All these tractors are all going to get put inside until we need them. So I had to make this. I had to make that stack of hay, and there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to get it under, get it tarped today without killing somebody, because those tarps are like big kites. Big disappointment was when we started pulling that hay out of there. It was good hay, but we had a few wet bales, and when you have a few wet bales, what they'll do is they'll send heat and mold right up through them. Hence, that wagon load of hay there is all bad. That's 2 wagon loads of hay out of the 2 buildings. And this was all that I got stacked here. So there's, I don't know, there might be 100 bales here. So, just kind of a disappointing day. I'm going to walk over here to Timothy. He's blowing off the baler. And I also have the 7810 hooked there. At least I think he's blowing it off. He might be doing something I don't want him to do. Let's see what he's up to. As long as he doesn't get himself killed, I don't care what he does. Making a mess. Like the thing's on fire. That don't sound good. built up on the slides?
Yeah.
It's those bearings are working up and down on that dirt. It's plastering it. Well, keep blowing, I guess. A lot of shit up in there. That's all got to come off.
I know. I gotta get in there with a screwdriver.
Screwdriver, just go get one of them brushes on a broom on a stick and broom it. It'll come off. Alright, I guess that's enough for this video. What the hell is he? Oh, he just dumped a bunch of stuff down there, the dirt out of the building. I thought, holy shit. But anyways, we're going to take all the twine out of the boxes too. We're going to put that in the building. And we're going to clean those boxes out, but you got to start back at the top again. Yeah, I know. Got to get in there with the hoe. Alright.
Oh, I need to start it up.
Well, you got to get in behind it. You'll need the plunger pushed all the way forward. Is that thing still running or no?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, well, stop running it. It don't need to run. Massive flywheel. Check your oil. There's my brake. And if you think the brake is actually going to save your life, it will not. There it is. Now you can roll it back. Yeah, you might be able to get in there pretty good. There's a lot of stuff. You're going to have to, I'm going to lock it up. Unless you're going to roll it completely back. I'll lock it up so that you don't get pinned in there. I don't want you getting killed. Is that somebody shooting again? I have to shoot back. Anyway, yeah. Ooh, the air compressor. Yeah, see that stuff builds up in there? Yeah. A lot to do in here yet, Mr. Tim. A lot to do. Got your, you got the hoe? Alright, well, if anything exciting happens, I'll turn the camera back on. Okay, the wind is blowing and I'm climbing. It's kind of difficult to climb up on bales of hay, especially when you get as old as I am. But I guess I make it look easy. I can scale just about any pile of hay, whether there's a lip or not. When I first started this business, it really was pretty much impossible to climb them without a loader. But, you know, you learn how to do stuff. So what we're doing up there is we're unrolling a tarp. And we're kind of talking about what we're going to do to keep this thing from killing one of us, because we are going over the, over the top of this thing, and it is blowing like there's gusts of 30-mile-an-hour wind, and that'll just lift the tarp and probably all three of us up. Just think of it as a gigantic sail being on top of this pile of hay. So what I did was I threw Cody and Tim down onto the ground so that they could grab the tie downs as I pulled it on the top, and that would keep it from getting the wind underneath it and whipping me off the top and over the back side of this pile of hay. I don't know. It was a really beautiful day, other than the fact that the wind was blowing so hard you could hardly stand to be out in it. I actually had 2 sweatshirts on underneath that yellow one. Actually a t-shirt, a flannel shirt, and 2 sweatshirts in total. And before you panic and say I'm going to kill myself, don't worry, I've done this 1,000 times. But yeah, I don't know. I thought we were going to have a lot more trouble than what we were actually having with this tarp, but it wasn't so bad at all. As you can see, this tarp is very dirty. It was taken off of a pile of hay in a muddy area, and unless you take these tarps back up to the farm and hose them off, the mud just stays in there. And you wouldn't realize how heavy that mud is until you pick these tarps up. On a normal day, when they're brand new and clean, those tarps weigh 147.5 pounds. That's what they weigh. You add that thin film of mud and whatever else crud gets on these things, and there's probably 10 or 15 pounds of dirt on that tarp. It was extraordinarily heavy getting it up onto the pile. So what I did, and you didn't see it, was I just put it on the front end loader and set it up that way. So here we go. Oops. Okay. That only took 6 minutes? Damn. Anyway, I thought it was going to be more dramatic than that, but it wasn't. So what I'm going to do is, I was going to fold it over, but I want it to get washed off. I'm actually just going to go get some bales of hay and put in the front of it, just so that the wind doesn't blow it away. Tim's suspenders are on, as you can see. Oh, and by the way, Big Trucker 26, he's wearing those suspenders every day, so thanks again for that gift. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Anyway, there you go.